Self-help is a billion-dollar industry, but what most people don't know is that there are right and wrong ways to approach this important concept. Stay tuned to learn what works and what may be holding you back from getting the results you desire. It's super important to want to improve yourself, so congratulations for having the desire and taking action. Most people don't make it this far because self-improvement isn't a concept that they teach us in our school systems. And many graduate with the mistaken notion that they are done learning when they receive their diploma. And of course, the truth is that we're never done learning. It's a lifelong journey. And the sooner we embrace the concept that we're never done, the easier it becomes to reap the benefits. So first and foremost, you have to be self-aware. But in order to do that, you have to develop your self-love. It's very hard to work on self-improvements if you don't love yourself enough to be able to accept who you currently are, weak areas and all. Most people can't handle reflecting on their weak areas. It either causes them too much pain to admit that they aren't where they think they should be in that particular area, or it causes them to plummet into a spiral of self-doubt and blame. This, of course, defeats the purpose and serves to deflate their self-esteem, which is an area they need to be strong in order to honestly reflect on their strengths and weaknesses. So the top mistakes people make, and what you definitely don't want to do, is number one, working on any area other than self-love first. Even if you believe you're good in this area, most people aren't. So I highly recommend you start with this one. The next thing most people get wrong is tackling too many things at once. First of all, most of our fragile egos can't handle this. So try to rein yourself back to observing and working on just one area that you can identify at a time. This also allows you to experience the fastest and most noticeable results because you aren't diluting your efforts by focusing on too many things at once. And my last big don't I want to warn you about is not staying committed to the process. As I mentioned already, this is a lifelong process, and the real work is in the doing, not the learning of what you need to do. The self-help industry is so big because people have committed to the learning, which makes them feel like they're doing something for themselves, but then they never actually apply it into action. And when you don't get into action and apply something you've learned, you're likely to forget 90% of it within the month. Hence why people keep going back to those personal development seminars or looking for one more book or course. They aren't actually doing the work or taking the aligned actions necessary to actually grow themselves. They aren't following up and staying committed to the process of their own personal growth. So to make this clear and easy for you with some actionable takeaways, I'm going to wrap this up with a short what you should be doing instead list. Number one, and most important, you want to expand your self-love and be sure you have a strong enough self-esteem to be able to reflect honestly on your strengths and weaknesses without feeling badly that you have those weaknesses. Once you reach the point that you can reflect without impacting your self-worth, you're ready to move on. Next, you want to get a clear understanding of your image of your ideal self. Who is she, and how is she different than the you are in this moment? Just pick the biggest difference or gap that you become aware of and focus on that one thing first. Next, you want to create a plan to improve in this area. Determine what it would look like if you were already strong in that area. What can you do now to start acting as if you were already that person? As you take actions aligned with who you want to be, your subconscious will begin to accept that new identity and you'll become her. You may also want to schedule regular time within your day to turn your awareness to how you're doing and reflect on where and how you can be doing better. Reminders to calmly self-reflect are important because it's easy to stay in your old behavior patterns. The reminders are an interrupt meant to direct you back on course with your planned actions rather than your old patterns of behavior. Lastly, you want to be sure to celebrate yourself and your growth often. It's important to create a positive reward cycle to encourage yourself to stay on track. Changing and growing in any area can be hard work, and making the effort, even when you haven't noticed any outward changes yet, is a cause for celebration, pride, and renewed commitment to keep going. Let me know in comments what your top takeaway has been from this conversation, and be sure to hit subscribe so you'll stay in the loop on our future training.